Alright guys, so before we start today's reaction to Terry Bogard, I want you to know that you guys won't be able to hear my voice during this reaction because when I was trying to do the live stream on this like 2 times in a row, um, for some reason it would tell me the camera is not working because I'm using the OBS software. And yeah, I didn't really thought that well. So because I was way too hyped for the trailer to come out, so I had to do a reaction. So yeah, you guys aren't gonna hear my voice throughout the entire direct because the voice volume is like way low. You won't be able to hear me. So I'm really sorry. So anyway, I'll try to work on it next time. And you guys are expecting another Minecraft playthrough. Yeah, I'm gonna try uploading that as well. So I'm gonna take my time and do that. So hope you guys enjoy. And I actually recorded my Minecraft video like just about like an hour ago. I mean that was way before I knew about Terry. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy and enjoy the reaction. And also, I'm going to upload this on Jason Plays and Jason Reacts because not only I'm going to be uploading this on my main vlog channel, Chavito808, I'm going to do this on my 2 other accounts. So, YouTube, please let me upload this too if you can. So, alright, I'm out of here. Bye. Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Chavito808, and today we are going to be reacting to Terry Bogard in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So I was expecting a Nintendo Direct by the 13th, but they decided to push it even further. So I will have the time to react to this. So not only I'm gonna upload this on Chavito808, my main vlog channel, but I'm also gonna upload on Jason Plays and Jason Reacts. So if you see the same video on all my 3 different accounts, then I want you to guys go ahead and like the video and subscribe. So without any further ado, go ahead and get into this in 3, 2, 1, and I know it already passed this live stream, so let's go.
皆さんこんにちは。空の桜井
Hello everyone, this is Masahiro Sakurai from Sora Limited. The Super Smash Bros. Ultimate game was recently honored with 5 awards at this year's Japan Game Awards.
Really? I didn't know that.
It's received a great many awards on top of that as well.
Wow.
Each award is very meaningful to me, so I would like to take the opportunity to extend my thanks to all those who have voted and to all those who have supported us. Thank you so much. Without further ado, let's begin the presentation. First, we'll start with what the Neo Geo is. It refers to a 1990 video game console for use in arcades and at home, as well as to the name of the system itself. In 1990, the equivalent to the Super NES had only just released in Japan, so if you wanted to play arcade games at home before then, the only option was to play the less polished ports on the Nintendo Entertainment System. However, with the Neo Geo system, you could play the arcade versions of games at home with no drop in quality. 1990 was right around the year that I started working for a game company. Back then, Japan had rental services for arcade games. In other words, you could go to a rental store, rent an arcade game, take it home, and play it. After that, they were sold for home use, but a single game would cost about 30,000 yen.
What? 30,000 yen? Wow, if you live in Japan, that must be very expensive.
That's expensive. But if you think about it, compared to playing a game in the arcade 300 times at 100 yen per play, you're getting your money's worth. At the time, some people actually thought this was cheap.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, there really are people who played games in the Super Smash Bros. Series 1,000 or even 10,000 times. Anyway, the MBS, as it was called then, was sold in various places, and for an arcade machine, it wasn't all that expensive. You could also get them on lease.
Do they still sell those on
That's
eBay?
why you'd end up seeing lots of candy stores having a Metal Slug cabinet. The home version of the Neo Geo came with this controller.
That
Can
is
you
pretty
see?
big.
It has 4 buttons,
How are you
and this
supposed
is
to
the
handle
actual
that?
console itself. Here is the reset button, and here you slot in the big game cartridges. This is the Neo Geo. Just kidding. Actually, this is the Neo Geo X, the portable version that was released afterward.
The Neo Geo X.
You could also insert it into this docking station and play it as a home console. Beat Nintendo Switch to it.
Okay. Yeah.
A portable, multi-purpose console.
A, B, C, D. Oh my gosh. They had to copy the Switch, didn't they?
Updated iterations of past systems are emblematic of the Neo Geo.
I was gonna do a live stream on this, but I just had
Let's
no
talk
idea
about what Fatal Fury
so.
is. It released in 1991, the same year as Street Fighter II. But this one came later. It launched after Street Fighter II. Like many of the other fighters, Fatal Fury was often regarded as a title that was developed to capitalize on the popularity of Street Fighter II, but that's not really the case. Actually, both Street Fighter II and Fatal Fury were developed using the original Street Fighter as a foundation. In fact, the development of Fatal Fury was started by one of the planners of Street Fighter.
Harry. I mean, honestly though,
Did I just hear you say wow?
But with the ponytail.
This one is also a multiplayer-focused fighting game. In this story, someone named Jeff Bogard is killed by Geese Howard. Geese Howard starts up a fighting tournament in Southtown, which he runs. To avenge his father's death, Terry enters the tournament, which is known as King of Fighters.
You know, this kind of reminds me of Gravity Falls for some reason, because, I don't know, I guess the creator has heard of Fatal Fury, and I think he did something like, Dr. Karate, you killed my grandfather again! I think that's where it's going. Yes, I
mentioned the term King of Fighters, something you may have heard before. Yes, there's actually a popular series called The King of Fighters, and that series was named after the fighting tournament within the world of Fatal Fury.
So, what are the differences?
And Terry Bogard, who is the protagonist of Fatal Fury, also appears in all the games in the King of Fighters series as one of the main characters. If you want to play a game from either of the Fatal Fury series or the King of Fighters series, many of them are available now on Nintendo Switch as part of the Arcade Archive series. You may not know which one to play first, but my recommendation from the Fatal Fury series would be Fatal Fury Special. From the King of Fighters series, my recommendation would be the King of Fighters 95. But if you want to play a fighting game with all sorts of strategic elements, then I recommend the King of Fighters 98. Next, I'll give you some insight on Terry Bogard. Actually, this video was recorded about 1 month prior to its release.
1 month?
That's because we need to translate and edit videos like this one, and that takes time.
No wonder.
The game footage you see here is not from the final production ROM, so please understand that there may be some elements that differ from the final game.
Yeah, if you guys can find like anything from the beta version or the alpha version and compare it to the final, I want you to guys make a video of it so that way I can understand what the whole situation is. Like, I don't know, spot some details on the background, spot some differences between Terry's moves or stuff like that. Anything you can guys do.
Since we have the opportunity, I want to talk about Terry using a lot of SNK lingo, meaning in this discussion the younger generations may feel a little out of the loop. But there's nothing to worry about. When we released the original Nintendo 64 version of Super Smash Bros., I was often asked, who is Samus? Whether or not the character is fun to play as is more important than whether the character is new or old, or whether the character is recognizable to everyone.
You know what, Brawl
I want to make sure I present Terry to you in such a way that you can fully understand his appeal. So thank you.
I think he needs to do some research on
Okay,
this.
let's begin.
Alright, here we go. Terry Bogard. And don't worry, I already bought the primary Fighter's Pass, so I
This is Terry Bogard in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. He's still wearing an outfit that reflects the era of his original game, but we did our best to make him look cool in a variety of ways. When he stands next to Ryu, it almost makes you wonder, is this really a Super Smash Bros. Game? Doesn't it? Just like Ryu, when you're playing one-on-one, he'll face the opponent. Actually, he always looks in the opponent's direction. Even if you move him to a location behind the opponent, he'll quickly turn around, always keeping his focus on the opponent. Let's talk about his moves. His neutral attacks are jab, body blow, and high kick. Each move is something familiar from the Fatal Fury series. And his dash is power charge.
Wow, was Era Nitmar and Zero?
This is a move you can use in Real Bout, Fatal Fury Special, and others. In the original series, it was one of his special moves. His tilt attacks are middle kick, rising upper, and underkick.
And don't worry,
compared to Ryu, his attack speed is slower.
Of Terry
This is to match his original series.
So, yeah. I was trying to do that when I was doing a live
Now for
stream, but I
smash
didn't know how to
First up,
properly set up a
backspin
live
kick.
stream, so, yeah.
This smash attack is the equivalent to his strong attack, but the motion is even cooler than in his original series.
I wonder if that's really
Next,
effective.
wild upper and slide kick. Both are from the original series. Then his midair moves. Jump, then chop. Jump, then kick. Jump, then backward kick.
Wow.
And then somersault kick. However, this somersault kick was not included in the original series. But we needed a move to attack up. So we created
Huh. Okay.
a new move.
Yeah, I say if they're gonna put SpongeBob,
Also,
make
jump
some of the
and then
moves
karate
from
punch
their-
for a down air attack.
completely similar to Mario.
If you successfully
or
pull
other
off a down
characters.
air, it's possible to attack with a meteor effect, as you can see here. It's basically like Ryu's.
That would be
Next,
good.
I'll cover his throws. His forward throw is his familiar Buster throw. His back throw is also Buster throw.
Because
And
think
his
about
down
it,
throw
Mario is a mascot on Nintendo,
is
and
neck breaker
SpongeBob is
drop.
a mascot on Nickelodeon. So I say
In
he'll be a
fact,
good
he used it in
character.
the game Fatal Fury Wild Ambition. I miss playing that game on Hyper Neo Geo 64. And then, his up throw is grasping upper. This sort of dodge attack can be performed after a spot dodge. I mentioned dodge attack, and this actually does exist. During a spot dodge, immediately press the button to counterattack.
What? You can spot dodge
During a dodge
and
attack,
try
your
to
upper body becomes
counterattack?
invincible, so this kind of move gives you the advantage when you counterattack. Now for his special attacks.
Let's go to school. Don't
His
go
neutral
to-
special,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
just the B button, is Power Wave.
Oh yeah, that's something from the last direct. with
Depending on how long you
Banjo-Kazooie.
press the button, you'll use one of two types of special attacks, weak and strong. This one is weak and kinda slow, and this one is strong. Fast, isn't it? For Ryu, in his original game, you used 3 buttons, so there were weak, medium, and strong attacks. For Terry Bogard, you could use 4 buttons in his original game, but there were only 2 buttons for punch. So that's why he only has 2 attack levels, weak and strong. This rule applied to all of his special
Because I don't
attacks,
know
so
the
please keep that in
combination.
mind.
Can you
By the
show
way,
me
the attack
combination?
Power Wave is a move that shoots energy along the
Because I don't wanna
ground.
use
But
the
how does it look in the air?
combination.
In his
Or
original
probably
game,
use
you
the
couldn't use
standard-
this move in the air.
Smash standard-
This is how it
I don't
looks
really
now.
know.
As of the King of Fighters 96, the Power Wave
Whoa,
ability
that
had a
looks
shorter
sorta
range,
broken.
so we've recreated that version of the move.
I'm sure
It's
I'm
a
gonna
useful
be
move in
Joseph.
midair and
I'm
helps
gonna
keep
be
opponents
Joseph
in
while
check.
doing this. Well, I don't know. It's just
Next,
gonna
we
be
have a
me.
special performed while holding in the direction of your opponent, Burning Knuckles. This move also has a weak and strong version, as well as a command input. Like the Hadouken command input from Street Fighter II, you perform this command using the directional input, down to the side in the direction of your opponent,
Okay, so let me see here.
and then press
No,
the
no, 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 no. Okay. Down, side down, right, A or B when the direction is facing right.
button. Doing so makes the move a bit stronger. This means that Burning Knuckle has 4 variations. Weak without command input, and strong without command input. Weak with command input, and strong with command input. The strong version using the command
How am I
input is of
supposed
course
to
the
know
most
which is
powerful.
different?
You'll hear a noise when you input the command. And if you've succeeded, you might also notice some green mixed in with the flames. It may be slight, but there is a difference. A strong version with the command input really is strong, even capable of KOing opponents.
So what's the
It can be
highest
blocked,
match?
however, so be on the lookout for that.
The move can be blocked.
In
with
such a
shield.
case, you'll be left wide open.
Oh yeah.
And this is a
These get
first for the
very
Super Smash
technical.
Bros. Series, but the side specials are split into two versions, a back special and a front
Why am I
special.
having goosebumps?
That means there's one more side special than usual, Crack Shoot. This is a familiar move from his original game. There's also a command input version. It's performed by using the directional buttons down to the back, followed by the A or B button.
Oh, so I guess when you take the opposite of a Street Fighter character,
The command version can launch your opponent quite a bit further.
that's sort of broken. Imagine using this in
It creates a bit of an
tournament.
arc, so it can be used as an anti-air attack when your opponents try to hit you.
That
At
would
close
be
range,
crazy.
if you happen to be blocked by a shield, it's hard to be counter-attacked because you'll pass through them. There's something I want you to remember. When you do a crack shoot off screen, this is how it will look. Terry swings with his whole body when using Burning Knuckle and Crack Shoot, so it can be hard to recover.
Whoa.
However,
So it's gonna be hard
if you
to
keep
recover.
pressing backwards
You guys
without
are
inputting
very
commands,
careful.
you should be able to initiate Crack Shoot in the direction you're trying to recover.
Without any
Let me
input.
show you one more time. Do this, then continue to press backward. And then you can recover. If you press too quickly or input some commands, you'll fly right off the stage, so be careful. And this is his up special, Rising Tackle. It also has weak and strong versions, each with differing heights. And did you notice that if you hold down briefly to charge, your whole body glows a little? In this case, your whole body will be invincible at the start. Either way, your legs will be invincible. Here's an example of this invincibility in action. With the standard Rising Tackle, I got completely wiped out when I threw myself at them. But with Rising Tackle's charged command version, you can't be hit at this moment, so you come out on top.
Oh my god. You just need to time it correctly.
You can of course use Rising Tackle as a recovery as well.
Someone like the
Even after using Burning Knuckle or Crack Shoot, you can still use Rising Tackle. This is also very helpful when you're trying to recover, so please keep that in mind. His down special is Power Dunk, an attack that rises and descends.
Yeah, don't use that for recovery.
This side, down, diagonally down command input is also known as the Shoryuken command. If you can pull it off, you'll be invincible at the start of the move.
This ability triggers at the start when you...
Also, you can hear a sound when it connects, but it might be tough to make out. Now, let's talk about canceling specials.
Oh, there's
I'd
gonna be,
really like you to
L
keep this in
canceling or
mind.
something?
First, if you use a
some
special
melee
after
technique.
attacking with a standard attack, the special won't come out until the move animation has finished. That makes sense, right? But here's what happens if you cancel out of it. At this moment here, if you've successfully entered a special command input, the rest of the animation will be cancelled, allowing you to attack again immediately. I'll do that again. Throw out a kick like normal. And once your leg extends, you'll perform the move.
So that's sort of both technical and broken.
Set it up so that when
Zero,
you attack,
start
you can go
practicing
straight
this.
into a
You better
special.
start practicing this if you want to win EVO 2020.
This will increase your offensive options. Please try this out. For example, neutral attack 1, 2, and power down. This is a bread and butter combo. Aside from that, you can also get Terry to fly out and attack in an M shape. In his original game, you could only cancel attacks on the ground, but in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's possible to cancel aerial moves. The types of aerial attacks that you can cancel are limited to things like neutral air attacks or down air attacks. But I think it would be wise to use these combos to expand your offensive options. And at last, the final smash. His final smash begins with triple geyser. Terry will shoot 3 geysers straight forward. However, if you think that's all, you're very mistaken.
I know that.
As you can see, if Triple Geyser connects, you'll follow up with Power Dunk and Buster Wolf. It's 3 moves in 1. It's a visually striking combo.
So where's
You may be wondering what happened to his original super special moves. Yes, they're here too.
Super special move?
With the usual rules, when Terry's damage meter rises up to 100% or higher, and in stamina mode, when his overall HP drops to 30% or less, you'll see this Go icon at the bottom of the screen. At this point, if you enter this specific command, you can initiate the power geyser you see here. The command input is, if I borrow the way it's said in the original game, down, angle down, side, angle down, forward. Well, it's a bit complicated. Downward, then backward, then forward. You see? It is an action game after all, so you get to control the direction of your punch, be it right or left. In that case, no matter which direction you're going for, just swap the right input and left input.
I don't know.
It's like this: downward, then backward, then forward. Or down, and then the opposite direction, if that's forward. And then there's his other super special move. Buster Wolf. You can initiate this one by repeating the Hadouken command input twice. Down to side, then down to side again. It can be rather difficult to pull off moves using the original game's command inputs, but you can also use simplified command inputs. In the case of Power Geyser, remember this: down, side, down, forward. As long as you input the command downward to the side, to the back, downward again, and then forward, you should be fine. In the case of Buster Wolf, it's simply down, side, side. That should be easier to remember. Even though the command input is complex, it can still be blocked with ease.
It's gonna be a lot of command.
Since these moves can only be used when Terry has taken a lot of damage, you'll be in even more danger if your opponent blocks.
I'm not really.
So they're high risk and high return. Please save them for when you really need to make a last-ditch effort. You can use it again and again, but be careful. Your opponent may be able to predict your move and take action. Essentially, it's best to use it when it's least expected, or to cancel out of a combo, like this.
Oh, and when you're looking at every time when you
For the taunts, I decided to match his original game. His up taunt is "Hey, come on, from the King of Fighters series. His down taunt spins his hat like in the Real Bout series. And his side taunt is "Stand Up" from Garo, Mark of the Wolves. I've demonstrated him using various special moves in the game so far, and you can hear his voice. Like that. We've incorporated both his longer remarks, like Power Wave, from older titles, and his shorter remarks, like Rock You, from newer titles.
So, I wonder what he will sound
And
like.
here are his color variations. There's a good variety of colors available from across the series,
Aww.
and the cat designs are slightly different in each version. They're based on his original games, and we've also included some from the King of Fighters 14 and the anime series.
I'm gonna call it Teresa Bogard. or something. You know what, that would be very cool if they add a female Terry.
He sometimes takes off his cap too. For example, it happens during his victory pose. His cap also blows away when he is defeated in stamina mode. The stage is called King of Fighters Stadium. It looks like one hardcore fighting coliseum. The text above the Jumbotron reads, King of Fighters, without the. When we talk about a game title, we need the up front, but the name of the tournament in the game's story is just King of Fighters. This is a very unique stage, and it follows some rules that haven't existed in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate before. First, the edge is walled off. In the Super Smash Bros. Series, you need to launch opponents off the stage. Here, however, the more damage a fighter has accumulated, the more the wall will visually react when they're launched into it. Can you see? Eventually,
so the total max is
fighters will break right through the wall.
over 100.
There are fireworks in the background.
But I'm not exactly sure.
Basically, this special feature allows you to KO an opponent only after they've accumulated enough damage.
As well? There's no possible way for down here.
That way, you can enjoy the battle more like you would in a traditional fighting game. When you're close to the wall, it's possible to be KO'd even when your damage is low. It's just like in regular stages.
Maybe if you guys are gonna do classic mode,
in the Real Bout Fatal Fury series, there was a feature in which the walls could be destroyed and players could suffer a ring out when they hit the wall. This isn't exactly the same, but we made it kind of similar to that. We hope you'll enjoy playing at this stage with all its special rules.
Real Bout Fatal Fury. Are you okay?
By the way, there are guest characters in the background, right? Since we have the opportunity, I'd like to introduce them to you. First up, Andy Bogard. He's the adoptive brother of Terry Bogard. Both of them were adopted from an orphanage and raised by Jeff Bogard. However, while Terry's teacher was Jeff Bogard, Andy studied under Mai Shiranui's father. He uses the Koppoken fighting style. Joe Higashi. He's one of the three main characters from earlier games in the Fatal Fury series. He's the only one that doesn't have any connection to Geese Howard. He's a Muay Thai champion. Kung Fu Ru. He's the master of the Holy Fist of 8 Ways, and he also trained Jeff Bogard. He can enlarge his body as well. Billy Kane. He's been in many Fatal Fury games since the first one, and he's the right-hand man of Geese Howard.
I get it because he has a
While he appears in the first game, his costume is based on his appearances in King of Fighters 97 onwards. You can't really see his back, but the no smoking symbol is definitely there. Geese Howard. He's the big boss of Southtown, and he's the rival of Terry Bogard. Falling off of buildings is his thing. Rock Howard. His first appearance was Garo, Mark of the Wolves. He's the son of Geese Howard, and Terry actually raised him. That means his appearance in this game at this age with that look doesn't really jive with the timeline, but Smash is kind of like that to begin with, right? Kim Kapwan. He uses Taekwondo and considers himself a fighter for justice. His Ho'okyaku is very famous. Ryuji Yamazaki. His first appearance was in Fatal Fury 3, and he's a criminal known as Dark Broker. He's very selfish and sadistic. Blue Mary. Her first appearance was in Fatal Fury 3 too. She uses Combat Sambo, and she's a good drinking buddy of Terry's. Those were the characters from the Fatal Fury series, but from here on, let me introduce characters from other series. Athena Asamiya. She's a Psycho Soldier. Psycho Soldier is a memorable game released around 1986, and it was the first title to feature a fully voiced theme song within the game. This epic song was also remixed for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and it was recorded in both Japanese and English. Music start. Kyo Kusanagi. He's the protagonist of the King of Fighters series, and he uses the ancient martial arts Kusanagi-ryu. Speaking of the protagonist, there are differences depending on which version you're talking about, like Orochi and Nest.
So,
Anyway, he is forever a school kid.
is he?
Iori Yagami. Originally, he was introduced as Kyo Kusanagi's rival, but when I first saw this character in the game at the time, due to his look and attitude, I thought whoever created this character must be a genius. Goro Daimon. He's a judo gold medalist belonging to the Japanese team, and he likes to throw his opponents. Chang Hohen and Choi Bonge. One is an escaped convict, and the other is a slasher. They are currently undergoing rehabilitation under the previously mentioned Kim Kaplan.
What's his name?
Ralph Jones and Clark Still.
He's a
Originally, they were main characters in the Ikari Warrior series before Neo Geo. They appeared as guests in the Metal Slug series too. Ryo Sakazaki, the protagonist of Art of Fighting. The original Art of Fighting was released just before Fatal Fury 2. That means it was the first game to implement a true super special move. How could I not include him? King. Her first appearance was in Art of Fighting, and she's a bouncer and bodyguard. She is a beautiful woman with an androgynous sense of style. Next, Yuri Sakazaki. She was kidnapped in the first Art of Fighting game, but after that, she trained hard and mastered Kyokugen Karate in just 1 year. In other words, she's a genius. So, as you can see, we've included many characters, a total of 20 characters. You know, it's very cumbersome. I mean, it takes a lot of time. But so many people love each and every one of these characters, even outside the confines of their individual series, so we simply had to do our best by them. By the way, you may have noticed that a very important character from the Fatal Fury series was not included.
What?
Yes, Mai Shiranui. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is for good boys and girls of many different ages, so we decided not to feature her. Please forgive.
Wait, my Shiruni? Hold on 1 second. I gotta search that. My Shiruni. What game is he from? No, I'm not talking about the singer. I'm talking about like the video game character. Video game character. Let's see. Am I spelling that correctly? My Shiranui. Oh. Shiranui. Is this spelled correctly? Shiranui. Game character. Oh, here it is. Why didn't they add her? Not age appropriate because oh yeah, I can see why. Yeah, I think he's trying to keep the rating for E10 plus, so that way it doesn't end up being a rated T game or an M game. Same thing with Joker, because Joker from Persona 5 is an M rated character, and so is Aiden Pierce and Marcus Holloway from Watch Dogs. Yeah, and he doesn't want this game to be rated M, so don't expect to add like Mortal Kombat characters or something.
Also, my music features a variety of tracks, and the music that plays affects which special guests will appear. For example, there is a track called Pasta, and when the music is playing, Andy Bogard will always appear. I hope you look forward to that as well.
Wait. I didn't see that.
For example, there's a track called Pasta, and when the music is playing, Andy Bogard will always appear. I hope you look forward to that as well.
Or I don't know, am I just not looking for him properly? To see him in action, yes.
Okay, I'm done providing information, so now let's jump into some actual battles.
You know what, I'm gonna make a video on that tomorrow.
For me to try.
But I'm not gonna really do it, like, right now, so... Oh, and by the way, that's classic mode, so... Come on, move, come on. Rockman. Why do they call Mega Man Rockman for?
To intensity 9.9? Yes!
Whoa! He's a god in this.
I did. That was hard work.
Hey Zero, I hope you can do this too. As a matter of fact, have you said 9.9 on all the characters
Terry Bogard
yet?
is really fun to play as, so I hope you enjoy playing as him in such situations.
By the way, make sure you guys go subscribe to Zero and the other guys I talked about. So.
Next, let's talk about the music. This time we have something very special lined up for you. For instance, when we were deciding which songs to include in this set, we thought about concentrating on songs related to Terry, but there were a lot of big band style songs that didn't really fit the mood of battle. That aside, the music of SNK has always been great, right from the beginning. So this time, we selected tracks that could be called SNK style. Basically, we expanded the selection a bit to include series outside of just Fatal Fury and the King of Fighters. SNK songs have always been great, really. This was true before Neo Geo, and all the way from the old The King of Fighters games to the arrangements in the latest installment, The King of Fighters 14. We did a lot of digging around, and finally managed to narrow our many candidates down to 50 songs.
They should have added that too.
We never intended to do something like this, of course. So we submitted our 50 proposals to SNK, expecting them to pick out maybe 10 or 20 that they considered acceptable. But they told us they were okay.
Really?
As a result, we've pretty much added in 50 songs.
Wow.
Have a look at the list.
There's two different versions of this.
That's how we ended up with the list we have, but we worked hard to deliver some of the best remixes. This was a very special one-off case.
You don't see this here? You don't see this? It's time to play the Illuminati theme song.
And I don't think we'll be able to do the same for other series. To be honest, I think that being able to hear such a selection might make the Fighter's Pass worth quite...
Banquet of Nature. What does that sound like? What does that sound like? Oh yeah, it's that one. Yes, they included that one, but oh, I think it's a remix.
quite a bit more than its price.
They should have added the original too.
I do hope you'll enjoy
I
it.
kind of like it though.
Challenger Pack 4 comes with a Spirit Board too. The Spirit Board can be selected via the Spirits menu.
Like way beginning, so.
Have a look at the background. If it looks familiar to you, you'll start feeling pretty nostalgic. Shinkiro-san's artwork is always so nice and vibrant, isn't it? You can also look forward to mock tournaments featuring each of the characters. That old school Athena and Ralph and Clark artwork really is something. Now for the Mii Fighters. Please have a look.
Alright, here we go. And before we do, hold on. If you watched the leaked video from Aranitmar, I'm not sure if this is going to be the same thing for this one. I don't know yet. Well, let's find out. And no Fortnite characters, please. Yay! So I guess those are for different titles. Oh, damn. Wait, don't we have the spirit and the assist trophy? Jackie? I mean, I already have a Jackie Chu meme. But... So I'm gonna try getting the Naku outfit and let's see, who else? Not this. I'm gonna try getting this, and yeah, I think those are the only two I'm gonna get.
SNK was also involved with the Mii Fighter set this time, so it has a strong fighting game influence. It borrows a lot from the series Nakoruru comes from, like her wind slash attack, so I hope you'll enjoy those little details. Moving on to Amiibo, here's the new lineup.
Over there?
Simon, Chrom, and Incineroar. Each of these will be released on Friday, November 15th.
You guys know what that means. More nerfs and more buffs.
Next, let's discuss the details of the update. We've made some improvements to battle arenas. First, we're making it so you can send messages to each other in a battle arena. The messages are preset. So there's that, and also the player who created the arena can now change the rules. We've also added the option to play either Battlefield form or Omega form at random in the stage settings. Aside from that, you can now pick Elite only as an arena type.
Arena type Elite.
Furthermore, Quick Play won't be the only way to play with people you don't know. As long as the arena type is set to public and no password is set, we've made it so anyone is now free to join. So I hope you'll enjoy that. Terry is due for distribution on November 6th. If you have the Fighter's Pass, you'll be able to get him straight away, or you can purchase him separately.
I guess I need to update.
Well, I think that wraps it up for our Terry Bogard showcase. I hope we were able to convey his appeal. By the way, his reveal trailer was aired in advance. It was created using SNK pixel art. The complete version of it, including the gameplay portion, is finally ready. I'd like to show it to you after this.
Okay.
Now this is something of an inside story, but I of course wrote the plot for SNK's pixel art packed reveal trailer. When the invitation comes out, you might recall how it says, "Don't be late, S." That is not what I wrote. It makes me think, ugh, this is why I hate inside jokes. After leaving it to the staff, it snuck its way in there. I just want you to know that the S is also the Super Smash Bros. Series S. Well then, let's move on to the intro movie.
Okay. Now we have the complete version, but with no timeline. So you might as well put the remix in there. 95 forever. Again. I'm not gonna lie, the theme song is kind of jazzy. Like when I first saw this with my phone recording.
Hey, cover!
I spotted a change. It was blue at first, now it was red.
Lightning Central! Horror Wave! Look you! How about that? Are you okay? Wrestle go! Hey, come on! Counter! That's you! Look you! Radical! Oh my God! Here's the big one! Cast the ball! Harry, win! Okay!
And don't worry, footage is no longer under development. So that leads us to our final character. Who is it gonna be? Sora or the other guys? I don't really know. So far I actually really did enjoy this. So, well, I guess this wraps up for today's reaction. So now I'm going to upload this on Shabito 808. I'm also going to do this on Jason Plays and Jason Reacts, so that way you guys can find it. I mean, I know I know it's kind of like, I don't know, repeatedly annoying, but I don't know. I say it's kind of good since I uploaded it on my two other accounts, so that way you can guys go see it there. So, hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe, and, well, to all of my 3 different accounts. So, anyway, later today I have class, and I won't be able to do a Sonic and the Secret Rings video, or Thursday. And Friday, I'm going out somewhere. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoy. And I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.